Our new topic is how to implement and function test the cascade control in Centum VP. You can see that I have the temperature control loop as the primary loop, and I have this flow control loop as secondary, and I have used several blocks and calculation blocks in order to handle and simulate the scenarios, different scenarios. And here we are ready to function test. FIC is in cascade mode and TIC is on automatic. I changed the set value to from 10 to 90 or 80. All the parameters are set to constant values. You can see that how the FIC as the fastest loop in this combination is working. The output of TIC, the control value of TIC, is transferred into the set value of FIC, and you can see that this is the temperature. Temperature is getting close to the set value. Temperature is sluggish and a slow process. If you're interested to see the FIC PV and set value, you can see that they're following each other, and the loop is working as designed, and it needs time to reach to the steady state. When we reach to the steady state, I want to explore the functionality of the disturbance value. This is the disturbance variable. I put it in calibration mode, and I want to check the process disturbance when we reach to the set value. We're getting close, 72, and the set value is 80. We're getting close. Seven, 8. I can pause the video until we reach to the steady state. Now we are in the steady state. We're so close, and we have a very stable response. And I apply 10% of the process disturbance. Just to mention, the process disturbance calculation is applied to temperature and flow at the same time. This is the worst case scenario. So we have the process disturbance both in flow and in temperature, and PID Cascade PID is capable of rejecting the process disturbance here. So we are getting close to the set value. The next function test will be the mode transition and tracking. That's the issue that you may encounter in other control systems like PCS7 and Delta V. And in Yuhugo, you need to program for most of these topics that I demonstrate here. And I want to change the FIC from Cascade to manual, and forcefully I want to close the control valve. I want to close it for I want to keep it on 5%, even less. And you can see that the tracking is happening in the both PIDs, and now it's possible for me to change again the loop to cascade and this loop to manual and see the results. Somehow the response should be bumpless. We don't have any jump, but we have a huge process difference here that the PID is capable of compensating that, like the process disturbance. So it's not the normal case. It's not normal to put the FIC, the secondary PID controller, in manual and just close it randomly and leave the main controller, the primary controller, in the manual. It's a bit strange, but in the worst case, this is the worst case scenario. By proper programming, you can your process can handle that, and if you return to the cascade, your system is capable of returning to normalcy. We're getting close to the set value. And now it's also possible to, when we reach to a steady state, it's also possible for us to change the set value and see the changes in the dynamic response. In Centum VP, it's very easy to program cascade configuration, and it's easy to simulate by tools available in the program itself. And you need to program for your tracking option when you change the secondary loop, the FIC. If you change it to some automatic, if you change the the FIC to automatic, what will happen to the TIC? There are you need to define those scenarios and take action. Consider tracking. What happens if you change it to cascade? What happens if you change it back to auto mode? And these are the scenarios that can be predicted and can be programmed for bumpless behavior. That's all. The project and the process of making this simulation and this bumpless transfer is part of our Centum VP premium course that will be available very soon on my personal website. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.